Thank you for joining us on this edition of the show. Digital marketing continues to evolve with newer trends and platforms coming on the stream. My guest shares his thoughts on how business owners can take full advantage of this evolving space. More on this later on the show. Let's kick off with some news and updates. I am Chukwuemeka Agbata. Welcome to Tech Trends.
Technology can be a great equalizer when it comes to healthcare education, to the point where rich, poor, middle class can all get the same benefits. An estimated 1 in 10 medical products in low and middle income countries is substandard or falsified. This is a key fact coming from the World Health Organization. Substandard and falsified medical products are a widespread menace that affect every region of the world, causing harm to patients. The sale of counterfeit drugs thrives in Africa and Nigeria, which is why Dare Odumade, through his blockchain technology startup Checkit, is helping to combat this problem by offering a product verification and anti-counterfeiting solution.
We started off solving the problem of counterfeiting, particularly pharmaceutical products. This is because we noticed in Africa that over $300 billion is lost annually as a result of counterfeit products. Now, this is to the tune of over 40 to 30% market share lost. Now, we looked at this as a major issue because you see a lot of people dying from counterfeit anti-malaria medicine, particularly in West Africa, where we have people actually dying from this product. Over 100,000 people die annually as a result, according to WHO's reports. Right? This is actually what we set up to solve in the market.
Nigeria has continued to battle the production and trading of counterfeit drugs, but by leveraging barcodes and USSD codes, the anti-counterfeiting startup is helping consumers make sure the products they buy are safe for use. Using their mobile phones, they can verify the authenticity of a product.
Sticker label, you can see the pin after you scratch to reveal, and use this short code information below, which is you dial *347 *03 *pin. So the pin is, in this scenario, it's 4107 6277 8995 0258. And you type the green button to send. Immediately it shows you that the product is original. It shows you the batch information, the NAFDAC number, the expiry date, and then asks you to answer several questions to receive a reward. When we did a market research, we realized that people generally do not necessarily care to check products before they use them. So we decided to incentivize people to check. That's actually how Checkit was born. So with the Checkit app, consumers can report bad experiences with products. They can also report, expired products as well, and use this as an opportunity to give feedback directly to brands.
Although Dare says his team works closely with major players in the Nigerian health space to ensure consumers can identify products that are of the best standards. What is the reality for this startup?
For stakeholders like NAFDAC and the likes, it's a matter of how does this help them do their job better? How does this help them reduce counterfeits in the market? For the end consumer, it's a matter of how does this put food on my table, or how does it put money in my pocket, So it's just a matter of understanding what value to give to the consumer and not overlooking that direct engagement with the different stakeholders before we then push the product into the market. Another challenge that has always been there is the access to finance. But we're beginning to see more and more investment flow into this part of the world.
Although measures have been put in place by regulatory agencies like NAFDAC to reduce the trafficking of fake drugs, the rise of tech startups like Checkit proffering solutions to this menace will not only help protect consumers, but also tackle the proliferation of fake drugs in the country.
Nigeria has for a number of years continued to grapple with the problem of insecurity, and despite government's effort to reduce the incidence of crime in the country, the level is still high. This lingering security challenge is what motivated Olawale Atekoja and his team at Seclot Technology Limited to provide a service that enables individuals seek help when in distress.
And we're basically looking at how we can use technology to solve these problems. Now we've picked on 3 major verticals that have to do with surveillance, tracking, and verification. These are the 3 major roles we're playing as regards security. When you download the app, you basically put all your ICs, we call them in case of emergencies. When you put them there, they get notified that, okay, you've added them, and whenever you click on that, whenever you're in a distress, it sends your exact location to them, and then they can come to your aid. After you've downloaded it and you have it on your phone, you launch the app by clicking on it. And then you can actually sign up. This is the landing page. It picks your current location, and here you have where you can send a distress. But before you send the distress, you basically need to add your team members, your friends, families, whatever you're going to be sending distress to. And that's, you have it under this compass sign here. And then you can see this icon that looks like people. When you click on it, it loads people. And if you're going to add people, you then come down to this button here, which looks like a plus sign. When you click on it, you add your team members. When you save on it, you then go ahead to add different people. So that it's pretty straightforward. Once you're done adding all of that, there are 2 forms of distress notification. It's either the app-to-app or the SMS notification. So for the app-to-app, they need to download the app before they can get the notifications. For the SMS, they're going to receive an SMS on their phone that then also gives them the geolocation of where you are. When they click on it, it takes them to whatever map that they have on the phone.
Olawale and his team are also working on an online solution that will help individuals and organizations verify the addresses of their staff, job applicants, as well as their customers.
Boston Dynamics humanoid robot Atlas has been showing off its new skill, parkour or free running. A video shows Atlas leaping over obstacles, doing backflips and even falling flat on its face during practice runs. The team says if a robot can develop the same movement and flexibility as the average adult, then the range of potential applications will be practically limitless.
Parkour is a useful organizing activity for our team because it highlights several challenges that we believe to be important. First, how do we build a high power density mobile robot that's capable of extended athletic behavior? How do we design control algorithms that can create a variety of behaviors and control them robustly? And how do we connect perception to action in a way that both captures long-term goals like getting from point A to point B and short-term dynamic goals like adjusting footsteps and applying corrective forces to maintain balance.
Atlas stands 5 feet tall, weighs 190 pounds, uses hydraulics and battery-powered electric motors for movement and has 3 onboard computers. It is designed to be used as a research and development tool, and its Boston Dynamics team are encouraged to push it to the limit.
It can be frustrating sometimes. The robots crash a lot. It's not the robot just magically deciding to do parkour. It's kind of a choreographed routine, much like, a skateboard video or a parkour video where, it's an athlete that's practiced these moves dozens or hundreds of times even to get to that, that high level, that exciting, capability. So we're kind of doing the same thing here with Atlas. We're exploring, how to push it to its limits, sometimes operating at those limits. And we learn a lot from that in terms of how to build robots that can survive falling on their face and getting back up and doing it again. We also learn a lot about the behavior, the control, the thing that puts one foot in front of the other.
These videos are a true team effort. First, of course, we have the software team who is responsible for creating all the behaviors and control software required to execute the behaviors reliably on the robot. We have a hardware team who's responsible for making strategic upgrades to our robots that enable things like extended dance and parkour routines. Our technicians debug and repair a variety of issues that can range from broken mechanical parts to hydraulic leakages to electrical failures. And our operations staff is responsible for building these environments and repairing them when robots crash through them and helping us run the many, many tests required to get this kind of a demonstration to a high degree of reliability.
The team says Atlas has evolved over the last decade and is now able to adapt movement already in its repertoire based on what its cameras see. The result is it does not need to be pre-programmed for every motion. Instead, the team creates a smaller number of template behaviors that can be matched to the environment and executed online. Boston Dynamics staff say they are helping design the foundation for the skills the next generation of robots will need. A Hong Kong professor has developed a program using role-playing robots to help children with autism improve their social skills, an initiative that has been adopted by other non-profit groups and schools. The program, Robot for Autism Behavioral Intervention, RABI, is designed for people with autism between the ages of 3 and 18 and aims to help them be more social and to resolve issues such as conflicts and bullying.
Sky, calm down. What happened?
It's Bean. He finished my snacks without asking me.
An associate professor of educational psychology at the Chinese University of Hong Kong, Catherine So, says more than 1,200 children have used the program since its launch in 2015.
These individuals with the autism, they have low motivation interacting with the human beings, and also they have the hypersensitivities to the sensation around the world, for example the human facial expressions or the human voices. So we use the social robots to teach them the social skills in order to reduce their anxiety and also to make sure that our program is predictable and also structured.
The robots engage the children with role-playing and verbal interaction. A typical class involves 2 small robots acting out social scenarios, helping the children see the difference between appropriate and unacceptable behavior, such as tantrums or screaming. Catherine says she has published her findings about the role of robot-assisted therapy in multiple journals, including the peer-reviewed Journal of Autism and Developmental Disorders. In the long term, Catherine So hopes her program can fight exclusion of people with autism.
Coming up is my chat with Toby Aseyinde, founder, Digital Marketing Skill Institute. Stay with us.
Digital marketing has now become more important than ever as many businesses recognize the importance of digital and mobile channels today. But while many understand how essential it is to develop a digital marketing strategy to acquire and retain their customers, it's still a challenge for some. Creating and maintaining a digital marketing strategy helps businesses reach their consumers anywhere in the ever-changing digital landscape. Toby Aseyinde, founder of Digital Marketing Institute, shares with us how small business owners can stay ahead of the trend.
Toby, glad to have you on Tech Trends today.
Thank you very much, Sefi. Nice to be here today.
Awesome. Digital marketing, it seems like a topic that is overflowed. Tell us a bit about the latest trends in that space.
Okay, so when it comes to digital marketing, so one of the things that in terms of the latest trend in digital marketing, it has to do with a lot of omnipresent marketing. And also, so omnipresent marketing basically means that you're not just running a strategy on just one channel, but you're trying to be in every channel. And I think the recent Twitter ban even gives a more necessary importance to why you have to do that, because if Twitter is off, then you can always leverage on other platforms. So it's very, very important to be more omnipresent, right, when it comes to digital marketing. Then you also have strategies around communication, right? More interactive marketing strategies. So more people are using platforms like Telegram, like Instagram, like Facebook bots, and things like that in order to drive their marketing efforts, right? And the reason to that is because when it comes to marketing using digital platforms, there is the physical, transactional, conversational, whatever is missing. But then the closest way to achieve that is when you are using more of these platforms, the WhatsApp, the Instagram, the Instagram DMs, the Telegrams, and the likes of them. Then you also currently you've seen that there's also been an upward trend in the use of video conferencing as a marketing tool. So you see a lot of companies running demo sessions where they get prospective customers together and then have Zoom sessions or using Microsoft Teams to try to educate people on how to use the different platforms that are there.
Yeah, Toby, I hear you omnipresent strategy, but how would an SME, a small business owner, who is just even grappling to survive with the business, now have to have omnipotent strategy? How would that work?
Okay, so good. That's a very good question. So when we talk about omnipresent, what we're trying to refer to is you being on different platforms, right? You see most small businesses just being on Instagram, which is very, very dangerous, right? Because if that Instagram account gets locked out, then it becomes a very big issue, right? And their business goes on standstill for like a week or two, right? But then they can have an Instagram platform, and there's so many ways they could also have like a Facebook platform. They can have other social media platform, which is free. You don't have to pay for it, but you just have to be on those platforms, for example, right? The other thing also is that you can also have your own website. Now, in today's world, there's so many ways you can actually build a website, right? There are platforms where you can use to build your own, your own websites, for example, right? And then you also have email marketing, right? So email marketing is a low-cost activity, right? So there are certain low-cost activities. So what we're trying to say is that for it to be omnipresent, you have to at least combine about 3 to 4 different platforms, right? And there are so many low-cost activities that you could do. So for example, you could engage on forums, for example, right? So you could use Quora, for example, go there, answer questions around your business. So if, for example, you are into, let's say, solar, right? On Quora, for example, people are asking questions about their solar inverters, what type of KVA should they get, and things like that. So you can find questions like that on Quora or Nairaland, respond on those platforms, put your contact information, give something useful, right? Then you're present. So the goal is for customers to be able to find you. If I'm going on Google to search, I'm seeing you. If I'm going on Quora to search, I am going to find you.
So let me ask you this question. Is digital marketing easy?
Digital marketing, a lot of people feel digital marketing, and I mean, it's changing a little bit, but before, a lot of people just think that digital marketing is for time wasters, right? That they just spend their time on Instagram, social media, and things like that. So a lot of people don't know that there's a lot of research that goes with digital marketing. Like, for example, if you're going to run a very good campaign, you have to really understand who the customers are. You have to do research on different platforms to understand where they hang out, things that they do on the internet and all, right? Now, the interesting part also comes with the fact that there's also maths. There's a lot of mathematics in digital marketing, which a lot of people don't know. You talk about conversion rates, you talk about what they call it, CPC, City House, and things like that, right? So there's a lot of calculations that also goes into trying to understand and also trying to predict the kind of results that you can get if you're trying to run a digital marketing campaign. So I would say that it's not a difficult industry to be part of, right? But it's not. But if you're going to be doing it, then it means that you are there. You're in need for it, basically.
Well, here's my next question, which is tied to the previous one. At what point should small businesses consider outsourcing their digital marketing?
All right, so I do advise small business owners, right, to learn digital marketing for themselves, right? When it comes to digital marketing for a startup, I do advise that you understand it yourself, you build your own internal team. As you grow, you can start to use external team.
So are there free courses, maybe like a small business owner might be watching this program now and is thinking, how do I get started? What would you recommend?
All right, so there are a lot of free courses. Even we ourselves at Digital Marketing Skill, we have a free course. If you visit our website, you can get there. You can see it. Then also there are a lot of other platforms that also have free course. Google Digital Skills, for example, it's a free course that can give you the basic knowledge that you need when it comes to digital marketing and how you can understand digital marketing. So there's quite a lot of free resources also on YouTube. But like I always tell people is that those resources are good, right? But sometimes they could get you confused. So you might still want to look for a structured program, right, to go for so that you can get a full understanding.
So finally, because time is about our friend on this show, what are some of the tools you can recommend for business owners to get started with or to use in managing their digital marketing strategy?
All right. So, well, the first thing is I will tell people that Facebook advertising is a very, very strong platform. But not just Facebook advertising. People need to start to explore more of Google Ads. Google Ads is actually a very powerful platform because it allows you to target people by what they are searching, and not just target people while they are searching. It also allows you to retarget them by what they are searching on different platforms. So let's say, for example, I go search for solar inverter. I don't know why I'm using solar inverter particularly for this, but yeah. So you go search for solar inverter, right? And when you go and search for solar inverter, then an inverter company that is advertising on Google Ads, for example, places an advert on, let's say, Punch, Guardian, or channels, for example, online. And then so while that particular customer goes to channels to go watch a YouTube video, he sees your ad, or goes to channel's website to read a news, then he sees the he sees the advert. So what that means is that it's a very, very powerful platform that allows you to retarget people majorly based on their buying intentions, right? Then the other thing also is that every business owner should actually be building an email list, right? Should actually be building an email list and should actually be sending out emails to their prospective customers. And there's so many ways to do that. If you're a brick and mortar store, you can have cards, customer feedback cards that you give to your customers, let them write their details on, and you put it on your mailing list, right? And you have, you can build landing pages where you can send traffic to, they drop their contact information and things like that.
Awesome, Toby, thank you for being on the show today. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
I have been chatting with the founder of Digital Marketing Skill Institute, Toby Aseyinde, who is of the opinion that small business owners need to think about having an omnipotent strategy. I love that phrase. Now, the reality is that doing business is tough, and succeeding with your digital marketing is also getting tougher. Now, one way forward is for business owners to stay ahead of the trend, either by joining training programs or hiring good consultants. It's a wrap on this edition of the show. Watch the entire show on Channels TV, YouTube, or cfablog.ng. For Tech Trends, I'm Chukwemeka Agbata.